What's good, everyone? First of all, I just want to say thank you for clicking on my first video, actually. And I've been wanting to start this channel for a while because I know a lot of people, especially young people, deal with pressure, confusion, and that feeling of not really knowing what they're doing. And this is just going to be a space for a real conversation about that, you know, nothing fake, nothing like forced or something. It's just honest talk about things a lot of us deal with, but don't always speak on, you know what I mean? So, and honestly, for this first video, I want to talk about why social media makes so many young people feel lost. I feel like this is something a lot of people deal with, but don't really talk about enough, you know? Social media is honestly one of the biggest reasons so many young people feel lost right now. And I'm not saying this like social media is all bad because it's not. There's a lot of good that comes from it. You can learn things, you can connect with people, get inspired, or even like create opportunities for yourself. But at the same time, if we're being real, it can mess with your whole head without you like even realizing it. You can wake up feeling perfectly fine, open your phone for a few minutes, and somehow end up feeling like your whole life is behind. You start seeing you literally start seeing people your age traveling, making money, buying things, showing off relationship, eating goals, you know? You start asking yourself if you're doing enough, and if you're moving too slow, all this type of question. If somehow everybody else figured life out before you did, and I think that's where a lot of people start feeling lost. You know, the biggest reason for that is comparison. Like, social media makes comparison way too easy. You constantly seeing pieces of other people's lives without even noticing. Your brain start measuring life against theirs. The problem is you're not seeing the full picture. you know you seeing the highlights, and that's kind of bad. You seeing what people choose to show. You know what I mean? Like, it's just nobody posting the night they feel confused. Nobody posting every failure, you know, they just don't. Nobody posting the moment where they feel stuck or uncertain, you know. Most people post what looks good, and there is nothing wrong with that. There's literally nothing wrong with that. But when that's all you seeing every single day, you start creating this false idea that everybody else has life figured out. And that's just not true. A lot of people who look like they have everything together are still trying to figure things out themselves. Like, they just don't post that part. That part, they don't post it. Another thing social media does is create this fake timeline for success. Like, it makes it feel like by a certain age, you should already know exactly what you're doing. Like, you should already have money figured out. You should have money figured out, your career figured out, like a lot of things figured out, your life plan, all these type of things, all these things that you're dreaming of. And if you don't, it feel like you behind. It feel like you're literally behind the world. But real life doesn't work like that. You don't. Everybody moves differently, bro. Everybody. Some people figure things out early, they do. And some people figure like things out later, you know? Some people thought they had it figured out and then had to start all over again. you know? That's normal. That's normal. That's life, you know? And That's literally life. I think like one of the biggest reason people feel lost today is because they constantly being exposed to other people's definition of success. One person, like literally one person saying success is making a lot of money. Another say it's freedom. Like another say it's building a business. It's real, right? Another say it's traveling. Another say like it's freedom. Another say if you're not doing certain things by a certain age, you're wasting your time, you know? After eating all that constantly, it becomes hard to even know what you actually want. And when you lose touch with that, that's when feelings lost start really. Because now you're chasing things without even knowing if they matter to you, you know? You trying to match standards you didn't create, and it's kind of sad and it gets exhausting, you know what I mean? So that's why sometimes stepping back from social media is kind of necessary. you know you got to distract yourself sometime, but not forever, you know but long enough to clear your mind. You just gotta like get away from social media just to like put your mind together long enough to actually hear your own thoughts again, to ask yourself what you really want without all this like outside noise. Because like the truth is most people are still figuring life out. Even like the people who look like they got everything together. The difference is some people are just better at presenting themselves online. So if social media have been making you feel lost lately, don't automatically assume something is wrong with you. Please. It doesn't mean like you failing. It doesn't mean you're behind. You don't, you know. It probably just mean you've been exposed to too much noise, you know, too many opinions. All that counts a lot, that too many timelines. There's a lot to handle. Too many expectation, you know. Man, there's a lot. And sometimes, like, the best thing you can do is focus less on what everybody else is doing and more on building something real for yourself. Your life doesn't need to look impressive online to actually be meaningful, you know? It doesn't actually mean that. And your progress still matters, even if nobody else sees it, you know? If you made it to the end, honestly, thank you for watching my first video. If this connected with you, let me know in the comments. I love all of you guys. And if you want more real conversation like this, subscribe. I appreciate you being here. Thank you.